This is a Guide Your Light network production, creating podcasts with purpose. Hello, I'm Maritza Barone. Welcome to the Things You Can't Unhear podcast. Has there ever been a moment in your life where you heard, read, or were told something that you simply could not unhear? Something that made you stop in your tracks and helped you to see the world differently in some way, a better way. On this podcast, we create those life-changing moments for you through interviews with some of the world's most profound people around the globe. We explore groundbreaking ideas in health and well-being.
What we're really doing is getting to the root cause of your symptom. And often we find that is an emotional block that we have been carrying around in our body that's become almost crystallized and created a physical symptom.
Relationships.
And for women as well, when I talk about respect, it's called respecting yourself, which is don't overgive. Women will tend to put themselves one down, and then wake up at 40 and go, wait a second, I am woman, I deserve respect.
Personal and professional transformation.
This is true of any skill. You only develop it by doing it. And so, if you don't get out there and just start doing it and being a bit rough around the edges at the beginning, you can't work on your craft. And so it can't turn into something.
Spirituality.
Because I think when we know who we really are, we think we're our name and our body and our form and our hair and our clothes and our skin and but when we know who we really are as infinite beings, we're free.
And so much more. So settle in. This might just be a big day for you where you hear something that changes your life in the most transformative way. Welcome back to Things You Can't Unhear. Today we are passing the mic in a shorter and insightful episode with spiritual mentor and quantum healer Erin Panzarella. Erin will be sharing a life experience with us and a story from her past and her journey that has helped her to see life differently and to find the tools to be able to heal from grief and abandonment. This beautiful piece that Erin has prepared for us today really helps you to see the way forward in a healing journey and to hear from someone else's personal experience in how it has helped them. A little bit about Erin, who is now a spiritual mentor and quantum healer, was adopted at a young age and lost her adopted father right before her 5th birthday, which changed her completely. It confronted her with many emotional challenges and abandonment beliefs, which later affected her teen years. The heaviness from this spiraled into negative habits, debt, self-sabotage, and toxic relationships. Finally, while she was in her first year of college, Erin agreed to go and see her adopted mother's Reiki healer. It's amazing how these seemingly small things can absolutely change our lives. And after she went to see that Reiki healer, her life had changed and she was hooked. The healer inspired her intense healing journey and later her spiritual career. For over a decade now, Erin has gotten certified in a wide variety of spiritual modalities, which she uses with others. She's a trauma-informed Reiki Master, Akashic Records Reader, NLP Practitioner, and holds even more certifications in practices like Breathwork, which she'll share some techniques with us today, Kundalini Somatics, human design, hypnosis, and past life regression methods. Her mentoring is designed to help anyone to heal no matter their past, their lineage, heritage, or their circumstances. Let's dive into Erin's story here and find that gold in this piece that sits there right for you.
Hello there. My name is Erin Panzarella, and I am a spiritual mentor and quantum healer for women who want to heal past stories, past beliefs, anything that is holding them back so that they can step forward into the version of them that their soul has been guiding them towards. I do this through many different modalities that cover the mind, body, and soul. My path to doing this work was definitely a long-winded one. I have really navigated my life through the lens of how can I heal the things that once made me feel broken? How can I move past things that feel so heavy so that I may be free from the weight? So much of my life, I felt like I was weighed down by something. I felt like there was always something outside of me that had this power. I felt like I was navigating life so alone. I had this constant fear of abandonment, a constant fear that I didn't have what it takes to create a beautiful life because of everything I had been through. My story is pretty unconventional in the way that I entered the world and the way that I experienced early childhood. I was adopted at birth, born 6 weeks early, and I recently have reconnected with my biological mother. And I have found out things about my birth that make a lot of sense on things that I've struggled with. However, most of my spiritual healing journey occurred when I had no recollection, no stories about my entrance into the world. Most of my spiritual healing journey also came from a place of I had no memories of many parts of my childhood. 11 days before my 5th birthday, my dad passed away. And that was one of those moments where you feel like the entire world is ripped out from under you. Not the rug, the world. What I am told is that I went from this happy-go-lucky, cheerful, light-filled child into someone who was dealing with the most massive grief in an instant. And I couldn't even remember the person I was before my dad died or the person I was after. So much of my internal history is blocked out because my beautiful brain, my beautiful body wanted to protect me. And there came a point where the protection became something that was hurting me. The things I couldn't remember were still living in my body. And I operated in a way that deeply embodied the belief that I was broken, that there was something so wrong with me, that I would always be abandoned by the people who love me most. And as you can imagine, if you operate in this way through subconscious beliefs, which are literally determining 88 to 95% of our conscious day-to-day actions and thoughts. So if you have this underlying belief that you can't even remember, that you are not worthy, that you are broken, that everyone is going to leave you, your life is going to unfold in a way that proves that belief true. And that was definitely the case for me. I spent so much of my childhood, preteen, teenage, and early adult life deeply wounded, and I couldn't even see the wounds. This created behaviors, patterns that I used in order to try and heal myself, but they were really hurting me even more. I fell into addiction through prescription pills that were taken way more than prescribed. I lied so much because of fear of being left. I tried to soothe myself through food and other substances. The way that my life looked was vastly different than it looks today. My first year of college, I was completely rejected by an entire group of women, or even if you can call that women, but an entire group of peers my age. And that broke me even further, even more broken than I had felt. Because in that moment, I realized that I was completely alone and I was so different than everyone else. And I had been trying to hide that I was different. I had been trying to hide this deep belief within me that I didn't belong. This deep belief that everyone was going to leave me or no one would love me because I wasn't worthy of that. So I was trying to hide it. And then here I was presented with a situation where it was not hidden at all. It was actually very much seen by everyone. And that was the moment that my life changed forever. When my dad died, I was raised pretty religious. And the moment he died was the moment that I rejected any sort of belief in a higher power. Now, I didn't know that this was something that I did. This is after years of investigating, but I thought that if there was a higher power, I wanted nothing to do with whatever that was, or there was none at all. So the way that my life unfolded was deeply rooted in this belief that I was doing everything by myself and that I had to suffer by myself. I had to do it all. And there came a point where I just didn't believe that I could do that. I didn't believe I could carry on, especially not by myself. So in the depths of my aloneness, in the depths of feeling so deeply lost, my mom introduced me to a spiritual mentor that she was connected with. And I remember being at that meeting, that session, and feeling something profound shift within me. Feeling like, oh my God, I'm not alone. There is a reason behind all of this. And this was the first time in my life that I had felt that way. So that led me down the path of consuming every single resource I could possibly find on the spiritual healing journey. That led me to meditation. It led me to yoga. And it opened up so many different tools for me, which I continue to deep dive into every single day of my life. And these tools are really a way for me to come back home to myself, to come back home to this essence of me that was here before the world told me to be someone different, before all the past experiences broke my heart. And I feel so privileged and so honored to be able to walk other people through these tools because they have changed my life in every single way. I no longer fear being left. The way that my life has unfolded since finding myself on the spiritual healing journey, since being led here, is one that is full of returning to the knowing that I am already whole. This theme that ran my life was that I was broken beyond repair. There was no chance of wholeness. And now, as I dive into each part of the healing journey, I just realize that I am reconnecting with the truth that I am a whole being. I am a soul experiencing the human journey. And there were so many points on the spiritual healing journey where I thought that I could only focus on the positive. When I first got into it, there were so many books about focusing on the positive, think positive, everything positive, positive, positive. And there was this disconnection with that within me because I realized that my life had not been very positive in many parts of it. So I had this knowing within me that I was not here to only shift to the positive. I was here to alchemize the pain, alchemize the grief, alchemize the sadness, and know that these were just as valuable as the feelings of joy and love. That I couldn't experience the highest of joy and love if I didn't let myself go and actually feel the depths of the grief and the pain that I had been feeling. This life is all about duality, about contrast. And I have realized time and time again that any time that I try to shift to the positive way too quickly, I am going to hold on to the negative feelings in my body. I'd spent my entire life holding on to negative feelings, suppressing, pushing it all down, finding Band-Aids for things that I need way more for than a Band-Aid for. So what I've been tasked to do in my soul's work is help people remember that there is nothing wrong with you if you are feeling deep sadness, deep pain, deep grief. That is such a big part of the human journey. And we can also not let them hold power over us. They do not need to be the thing that leads our life. Those things used to lead my life, and it's so ironic because they were leading my life when I wasn't even letting myself feel them, because they were still there. I just wasn't giving them a voice or letting myself express them. So they got held into my system. And so much of my healing journey and what I guide people through is how can we release the hold that they have by letting them be expressed and also letting them move. So I'm going to invite you to let yourself go to the depths of whatever emotion needs to be felt. And I'm going to guide you through a little practice on how you can do that, because I know how important it is. I know how important it is to incorporate such beautiful, positive joy and love into your life. And I also know that we cannot tap into those unless we are allowing ourselves to go to the depths of the dark. So right now I'm going to invite you, and I invite you to do this practice for 21 days. It says that it takes 21 days for us to really release the hold that the ego has within ourselves. So if you are open to doing a 10-minute practice dedicated to you, dedicated to not only feeling the depths of your feelings, but also alchemizing them into your light. If you want to transform your life, this is a beautiful place to start. So inviting you now to place a hand on your heart and a hand on your belly, really allowing yourself to make contact with your physical body. Closing down the eyes, letting yourself tune into your breath, and to allow yourself to activate the parasympathetic nervous system, our rest and digest mode. We use the breath to be able to regulate the nervous system by taking a deep breath in and letting it all go. Letting your exhales be longer than your inhales. Allowing yourself a minute or two of deep breaths in through the nose and out through the nose with longer exhales. A beautiful way to regulate the nervous system, so you're not in that fight or flight mode. So you're not feeling like everything in your life is a threat. I know what it's like to feel like every single experience in my life is a threat, and I can tell you it is not helpful for the mind, body, or the soul. And when you get to a place where you feel that your body is calming, with your hand on your heart and one on your belly, I invite you to ask, what do you need to feel right now? What feeling wants to come up? What needs to be expressed? Maybe something comes to you right away, or maybe it doesn't. And you can use the help of journaling to tap into what feeling really needs to be felt right now. If it's anger, give yourself an outlet to feel that anger. Writing down what's making you angry. Moving your body in a way that expresses the rage. Punching the air, punching a pillow. If you're feeling grief, let yourself go and feel the grief. let yourself feel by bringing up how that loss makes you feel. Having contact with your hands on your body at every point of this can be really supportive. Once you've allowed yourself to feel these feelings for however long you need to feel them, I invite you to lay down and use the breath to help move them. I like to use a 3-part breath. So you breathe in through the belly, in through the chest, and out through the mouth. Breathing in through the belly, in through the chest, out through the mouth. Doing this with your mouth open, letting your breath move, circulate. In this practice, feelings might come up to be felt. You might feel tingles in your fingers, tingles in your toes. You might feel many different things. And sometimes we feel resistant in this practice because there's things that are coming up that haven't come up for a very long time. Doing this practice for at least 5 minutes can be so supportive. And at the end, inviting you to wrap your arms around yourself, hug yourself, and honor that you have showed up for yourself today. As I move through my spiritual healing path, I have realized that nothing comes up unless I am ready to heal it. I have encountered recurring themes of my healing journey, things that come back around again that help me remember that we are never done with healing, and that's a beautiful thing. If we were to heal every single thing at once, that'd be very overwhelming. We only heal when we're ready. As I've connected to different parts of my healing journey, memories came up to be healed. New beliefs presented themselves for me to recognize. And I realized that this was not something to curse, but to honor. To honor that I have lived so much life, that I have all these lessons along the way. One of my favorite quotes of all time: "These mountains you are carrying, you are only meant to climb." I return back to that on almost a daily basis, because I realized through my journey I have picked up so much, I have carried so much, and it gives me permission to put it down, to know that all of these parts of my journey were just meant to lead me down the path that I am meant to be on, rather for me to pick them up and weigh myself down. This is true for you too. No matter what you have been through, no matter how dark it may get, I promise you that you are stronger than all of it, and you can use it in a way that serves you, in a way that makes you deeply understand your own inner strength, in a way that allows you to experience the depth of what life has to offer. There are so many beautiful things available to you. Nothing you pick up along the way is here to stop you. It is all for you. The fact that you are here right now listening to this shows that you deserve to honor the path that you have been on. You deserve to honor how far you have come. And you deserve such beautiful things in your life. And it's okay to put down some of the heaviness so that you can be free.
Thanks for listening to the show. What did you think? And what did you feel? Let us know by leaving me a message on the Things You Can't Unhear Instagram community page. And if you can, give us some ratings love on your favorite listening platform.